Which connected? What's going on? Okay, I don't know if it's connecting to Twitch or not. I couldn't care less right now about that. Not sure what's going on there with Rumble Studio and Twitch. Anyhow, anyway, ahoy, welcome. My name is Ike. This is Switzerland.playit with the daily news. TAGN, the angry game news. And I'm gonna be less angry, more like... And I closed off, it seems, my news page. That was unfortunate, I guess. Not sure what happened there. But my whole news site is gone. Luckily for me, I of course made the bookmarks, but it's gonna take me a second now to show it up again. Today's news are gonna be very short for reasons. I had a almost 24-hour stream already behind me. 2 streams combined, one after each other right away, you know. Let me just reopen those bookmarks and I say ahoy to Haste. Haste is in the chat. He is proud to be the first. Yes, you can be. That's fine. I'm super okay with that. If it makes you happy, it makes me happy too. Okay, let's get into it. I hope you hear me loud and clear. I had some issues with some noise. That's why it took me a little bit longer. That's why I skipped like the little countdown. Are we ready? Anime streaming site Crunchyroll accidentally leaves ChatGPT listed in subtitles months after streaming boss said the site is not considering using AI. Uh-oh, they were caught. How horrible, right? But that's how life is when you're a liar and try to make money with lies. That's what happens. Popular anime streaming site Crunchyroll is the latest platform to be caught out for using ChatGPT to translate subtitles. And fans are very disappointed. I bet. The situation came to light when new anime series Necronomicon and Cosmic Horror Show hit Crunchyroll on Tuesday, June 1st, when one German fan went to watch the show with subtitles on. They found that the site had used ChatGPT to translate the episode. User Pixel posted a screenshot of the subtitles on Blue Sky, captioned beyond disappointed to find Necronomicon and the Cosmic Horror Shows subs on Crunchyroll or blatantly and openly ChatGPT. Long phrase. Check out the screenshot. And yeah, that's what they were shown. ChatGPT said. And then the German translation. Let's see. Wenn ich in die Welt von hier an weiter genießen kann. It's a half phrase. It sounds normal. It doesn't sound like fucked up German. So much I can say. As you can see above, the German subtitles read, ChatGPT said, wenn ich in die Welt von hier an weiter genießen kann. This takes place at 1912, 19 minutes and 12 seconds in the first episode of the new Semak series. Although ChatGPT does not show up in the subtitles for other languages for that same scene, Anime News Network found that the English subtitles include multiple translation errors, which suggest AI use. Crunchyroll, pretty big still. I think I used it in the past. I think they are still like the biggest anime website for English anime and English subtitle stuff. So that's a bad light for them. And another company was caught again using stuff, and they don't admit it yet, but it's gonna come out. They're admitting it, and they're gonna be better in the future. Just like we had the news yesterday with the alters, the game. They were caught doing like probably last minute changes and using some large language model for translation. If you do that, make sure you get the evidence out of the way, out of sight, out of mind, pretty much, that you used some kind of fucking AI stuff. It's just cheap and stupid and lame and whatever, right? Very, very weird why you keep using that stuff and not admitting that you're using. And Crunchyroll was even worse. They said like, yeah, we're not going to use it ever, blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. You're not considering it, but you're still using it. Using the cheap way out. AI content is usually slop. I mean, for the small creator, it has its use, you know. For me, for example, sometimes I'm using AI generated pictures because it's cheap. I have to invest like almost nothing in it, and it can give me my results I need. But I make it pretty obvious that it's AI stuff. You see it in the pictures usually. And if somebody would ask me, I would just admit it. What's the point in all that stuff? Weird, weird, weird. This news we're gonna keep for last. PS6 to push the boundaries of graphics double down on machine learning. They are also pretty much admitting that the new hardware is going to be more and more AI stuff. Thumbs up, mofos! I think AI videos will, after a while, make people sick of it and hungry for real content. Probably don't think too highly of people about that, man. We're gonna have like ton and tons of people who say like, yeah, I don't want to invest too much money in my entertainment. If there's AI stuff in it, I don't care. As long as I get it for cheap. That's the main driving factor, I think. I thought your thumbnails were real like. All of them. All of them. Absolutely 100% organic. Not. PlayStation tech giant AMD have announced a new partnership of sorts centered around the previously announced Project Amethyst, which is looking to push machine learning to new heights in regards to gaming. PlayStation console architect Mark Cerny recently met with AMD lead Jack Hoon, or Hoon, I don't fucking know. And the result is, well, a rather intricate social media post that explains the overall scope of Project Amethyst. Project Amethyst is a co-engineering effort between PlayStation and AMD focused on machine learning driven graphics and gameplay innovations. Built around two core goals. Hoon said. This is this guy, huh? Fine, good for you. The first goal is designing an architecture optimized specifically for machine learning workloads in gaming, while the second revolves around developing high-quality neural networks that push the boundaries of real-time game graphics. That's a lot of mumbo jumbo just to say, yeah, we're going to use more AI cores. You're not seeing like how it was made, actually, the graphics and all that, but how the machine learning does it, the interpretation of what you're seeing on your screen, actually. That's like how it sounds in my ears, at least. Basically, the two companies believe that machine learning is the key to cranking visuals and performance to the next level in games. In theory, AI-driven solutions that work in real time to provide better resolutions and more fluid frame rates take the strain off traditional hardware, which could obviously be a huge plus for consoles. And they go on telling us about software integration and all that, and that's a big part. Machine learning can only work when you provide the machine with software to learn on. to build up a new database with existing stuff, right? And I don't know if that's the way to go, to be honest, especially for consoles. You're going to have more and more AI cores, and probably at one point, the AI, the large language models you put in your system, because it depends on what Sony wants, right? Might deform the visuals at one point. Who knows? Who knows? But that's the way how everything goes. Even the new generations of the GPUs, they try to push more and more AI learning stuff. Sometimes it can look very good. Sometimes it can fuck up the visuals. It's unfortunate, but yeah, they're just admitting that's how it will go with the next generation of PS4, 5 iterations, and especially PS6 in the future. I don't know how to handle that shit. Yeah, Godzilla, only decent AI stuff I found is glass fruit and vegetables cutting for ASM. Robert Meyer, Burnett, authenticity is the currency of the future. Maybe. We don't know. I'm not a prophet. Oh, yeah. If you gaze at the night sky in Death Stranding 2 while taking a bath, you might see a constellation shaped like Hideo Kojima's face looking back at you. We're just gonna watch this short clip and I'm just gonna give you my 2 cents because I took this news piece for a specific reason. So you just saw it. I can replay it. Oh, it's even a German version here. Some German player recorded it. I don't know what to think about this stuff. It's starting to get more and more annoying. I mean, he did that always in his games, pretty much, since the very first movie-like game he made, Metal Gear Solid 1, a tactical espionage. He put himself in it. It feels to me so fucking snobbish again. I already used this word for him. But the older I get, the more I see of him in his games, the more snobbish it feels to me. I really don't like creators of games putting themselves like, you're so big, you're a star constellation. That's how important you are. Most people are gonna find it funny, a little bit hilarious and stuff like that. But the older I get, the more I play his games, the less I am amused by it. It just feels to me like awkward putting yourself in the games like that. Like, is it about the game or is it about you? Do you want the recognition like that badly? Do people need to tell, oh yeah, Kojima, greatest of all fucking time? Don't get me wrong. He can tell stories. Only a few others can do the same on the same scale. I just don't like this self-petting in the games. Like, yeah, look how great I am. And that is, for me, a sign of narcissism. That's all I can say about this. Sega says it didn't expect Nintendo Switch to be such a big success. Shuji Otsumi, CEO of Sega America and Sega Europe, as well as the CEO and president of Sega Corporation, has commented on the success of Nintendo Switch, which took him by surprise. Back in 2017, Nintendo had a lot to overcome. There were plenty of doubts surrounding the console after Wii U turned out to be a failure. I I don't know if I would call it failure. It was not very successful, like commercially wise. It didn't sell greatly. I think as a console, it was fine. It had its games, its library, but yes, it was a commercial failure. Let's put it that way. Support from third parties was initially slow, with many waiting to see how things would play out. As for Utsumi, he told the game business in a new interview. Since I was a member of the PlayStation launch team, I have a big attachment to the console business. And Nintendo has been playing an amazing role. Jesus, they made a great contribution to this area. I didn't expect Switch 1 to be that successful. Nobody did. And like a big voice, like a CEO telling us stuff like that is quite important, in my opinion. And there he admits, like, he didn't thought Nintendo would have that success with the Switch. And Switch 2 seems like to go the same path. Not a lot of launch titles, not a lot, even less like exclusives, right? But it seems to go well, like sales-wise so far. Sega was far from the only company that had doubts about Nintendo Switch many years ago. Even the CEO of the Pokemon company told Nintendo that he thought the system wouldn't be a success. Ultimately, though, it's gone on to be one of the biggest and most successful platforms of all time, at over 150 million units sold. Yeah, it was a big success so far. I own one. Not here right now. It's in Arizona still. My unit. That's why I avoid AI and do my own stuff when creating. Yeah, you have a very unique approach on your thumbnails, John Thunder. That's for sure. He's the god of that universe. That's true. He is the god of that universe. It's true. Kojima is the god of Death Stranding universe. Wee use. All right, nutty here. Wieners. Wieners. And we're coming already to the last piece. News today, only about 22-ish minutes or something like that. We talked a lot already about Nexus mods. That was 2 weeks ago, about the CEO just giving it away, selling it off, and going away. Not yet, though. He has a little bit more to say right now, because he is still involved in stuff like that, because he built up this whole Nexus mods website. Nexus Mods is getting an age verification for UK and EU users, weeks after the changing owners. Nexus Mod is implementing sweeping changes to the website in order to follow UK and EU laws. These changes include an age verification check for EU and UK users, which will be coming in the near future. In addition, Nexus Mods will be taking steps to remove illegal content from the website to protect children, as demanded in the UK's Online Safety Act. And I heard a few things about this already. BitChute, for example, the video platform BitChute, had to move out of the UK completely because they can't comply with this abomination of a law. So they said, like, okay, we are done with the UK, fuck the UK, whatever. We're going to move on. And hopefully I'm going to have a new user base too. It should be protecting children, but of course, law's always going to be abused by higher powers. And with higher powers, I don't mean gods, I mean fucking politicians. Because they have more power than you and me, usually. A new tax system for adult content will be implemented, including pornographic, suicide, and depressions. The Nexus Mods team is also overhauling the website's blocking system. Users can now ignore other users, which replaced the old block author function. People you block won't be able to comment or otherwise interact with the media you post. Finally, any images featuring pornographic content can only be shared using the supported tier of the website's media share feature. how much do you need to invest to get the supporter tier? I don't know. I don't care really though. If I want porn, there are plenty other places for that. I don't know why you need a Nexus mod for that. What do you do? I guess something like that. At the end of the official post announcing these changes, the Nexus mods team stated they are not optional for us. They are part of the complying with legalization, and we are committed to keeping our platform safe for everyone. Yeah, safe for everyone. Those are just buzzwords, meaning censoring for everyone. The previous owner, Dark One, hopped into the comments to support the new team in charge in light of the changes. He wrote, "We did not write these laws. We have no control over these laws. Nexus Mod is not an underground website operating on the dark web. It's a legitimate business that has to follow the laws of the countries it operates in. If we don't follow these laws, then we will get fined out of existence. The fine in the UK alone is 10% of the worldwide revenue, or 18 million, 25 million US dollars, whichever is higher." Dark One continued, "Whoever owns Nexus Mods, whether it was still with me or the new ownership, would have to have the deal dealt with this year no matter what. Frankly, I'm relieved that it is not me who has to deal with this or be responsible for the content on the site directly, because I have some big misgivings about how it's being enforced. However, if it was me, I would still have followed the letter of the law, and I'd have been doing what is written above, because I'd have to." Oh, those cocksuckers there, fuck off. Sorry, I'm being so rude, but fuck off. Let's take a look at these two pieces of legalization Nexus Mods is citing as the force pushing these changes. The UK Online Safety Act essentially is an online content moderation bill, forcing platforms to take steps to stop kids from seeing adult or illegal content. Yeah, always the definition of illegal content is very, very muddy in general. The search too is less than $5 on GOG. Good to know, thank you. But you might have troubles. I had a lot big troubles because you can't play it in DirectX. It has only Vulkan, and you might have troubles with NVIDIA, particular with this Vulkan version of the game. If they remove their nude mods, the site will die. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Go Lovers Lab. Even Nulvus has a naked option available when you install Skyrim. The force pushing sounds very gay. The UK law places emphasis on protecting kids and removal of CSAM, child sexual abuse material, content that amounts to terrorism. That can mean all kinds of shit. Terrorism is a fucking useless term these days. Assisting suicide and equal direct content. Meanwhile, the EU Digital Service Act is focused largely on illegal content, essentially demanding all large platforms take steps to remove such harmful content or risk hefty fine. This sort of content was already not allowed on Nexus Mods, but the terms and services are being updated to make the guidelines absolutely clear, so mod creators can understand what's allowed under UK law. Community reaction to these changes are mixed. Some are coming from a place of understanding, noting Nexus Mods can't really do much about legalization impacting large websites. Others are welcoming the changes, happy the website will be scoured from illegal content and younger audiences will be protected. Yeah, that's the reason of all that shit. Always protect the children, save the children, please. Please save the children, finally. We need more laws to save those children, finally. Don't take responsibility as a parent, for example. Uh, don't show the children like disgusting stuff sometimes. I have to bring up this story. I have a friend who had like a 9-year-old, and he let the 9-year-old play sniper. And if you ever played sniper, you're gonna see very graphical stuff. How the bullet hits certain um, parts of the body, how the body is gonna be like split open with blood, brain fucking blown out and shit. I don't think stuff like that belongs in the eyes of children, you know. I just I might be a little bit stupid for some, like don't censor, but I think it's like primitive, very primitive, showing younger audiences stuff like that. So as a parent, you should already like uh, watch over your children. Not like punish them, but watch over your fucking children. How about that? Just saying, just saying in general. There are where was I? Edge verification is coming, but in what form? It cannot be a standard "Are you 18?" checkbox, as that's something UK Communications Regular Ofcom explicitly prohibits. Some form of identification check will have to be included. Now, how exactly will you be able to do that? You might need a phone number, but that might be not enough. You might need at one point to have like physical pictures with your ID shown in a screenshot, in a webcam, maybe a little conversation, all that, or a digital ID. That's where everything is leading to, by the way. All this stuff is not to protect the children because they couldn't care less for your fucking children, right? It's your fucking children. What do they care about your fucking children? They want fucking control over every fucking connection. That's why they need to identify where this connection was established from. You need an account somehow. You need this account to be connected to an ID, a digital ID already, a government digital ID, or a physical screenshot and all that. That's where it's going, by the way. It's not about your children protecting. It's your job as a parent to protect your children, first and foremost. This raises the question on how will this data be protected? Oh, not at all. How about the government owns those data then, those data points, those databases and all that? Though the UK and the EU do have strong data protection laws in place for the average person, which may give the Nexus mod some reason to relax. Not really. At least I don't think so. It's a real optics roadmap for Nexus mod. Given the sweeping change to content moderation and age verification comes only a few weeks after Nexus mod changed ownership to growth focused company chosen. Yeah, there you have it, man. It's not about your children. It was never about your children. It was never about protecting you. It will never be about protecting you. It's always about controlling data. Controlling data means controlling you in the end, because you are in the eyes of the government only a data point. Well, I think that was it. I'm sorry if I didn't do it like usually, like a little bit more in depth and all that. But I had long streams before this little news piece. I hope still you enjoyed what you saw. I hope you're still gonna stick to me and forgive me my very lame approach today in news. I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna say bye. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a great fucking day. Till next time. Bye bye.